So my name is Michael Kurlick. I'm the Vice President of Investor Relations for MAG Silver. Just wanted to take a few moments of your time this morning to talk about MAG Silver. We used to say that it was the highest grade developing silver asset in the world, but this year we're not developing it anymore. We're starting to operate it, and so we're very excited about that, and I'll get into that. So I'm going to be making some cautionary forward-looking statements today, but what MAG has done historically is we've taken those forward-looking statements and turned them into fact from our geological success on the property, our Juanicipio property. The other thing we're very concerned about is our sustainability in the regions that we work, and we just are very proud to announce that we initiated our inaugural sustainability report this year in October 22, and as you can see over the years, we've been working on improving that score, and we intend to continue that going forward. So, the Juanicipio Project. Over the last year, we were delayed on our electrical connection to the mill, and we've completed that now, and we've actually started to operate the mill. So this year going forward, there's going to be mineral processing and generating cash flow. We're going to ramp up the mill to nameplate, which is 4,000 tons a day over the course of the year. And we're going to be exploring on our 3 different properties, and I'll go through them. Our Juanicipio property, where we've only explored 5%, our Deer Trail property in Utah, and our Larder project in Ontario. I have to go through this quite quickly because we only have 10 minutes. So, as I mentioned, we have our electrical hookup, and we're currently working towards commissioning the mill currently, and over 2023, we're going to ramp up to nameplate. We have a strong financial position, and over the last year, up to Q3, we actually mined and produced close to 7 million ounces of silver at a head grade of 556 grams per ton. And that's silver, that's not silver equivalent. So what does that mean? That means we generated a gross profit of $109 million on a 100% basis. And that wasn't even through our own mill. That was toll milling it at our partners, Fresnillo. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be going through this year, ramping up the mill to nameplate. We're going to be communicating those changes and that value add over the course of the year. But one thing we didn't want anyone to lose attention to is we're also an exploration company, and we've only explored 5% of that property. The other thing is that I'll cover quickly here is our shareholders. We're represented by institutionally, about 70% of our shareholders are institutions. And you can see also there we're covered by a number of analysts who actually have a Canadian dollar target price of $25 currently. So where are we? We're in the Fresnillo Silver District, which is in the Fresnillo Silver Trend. And the Fresnillo Silver Trend has actually produced 10% of the world's historical silver. So we're pretty much in the preeminent area for silver in the world. As you can see, we're nestled right in the bosom of Fresnillo, and I'm going to zoom into that property you can see there, which is the JV property. So you can see here, this gives you an outline of what we're looking at. The upper right-hand corner is where well, you can see the town of Fresnillo, and those red lines near the town of Fresnillo is the original upwelling fluid zone that was discovered in 1553 in Outcrop, and they've been mining there close to 500 years. Fresnillo has been on this property probably for over 120 years mining there. You can see where we are. We're going to be in the green, and our mill is in the top left area there. But why I'm showing you this picture, it gives you an idea of where we are relative to Fresnillo and where their plants are. Their plants, as you can see, are about 6 kilometers away, the Fresnillo mine, and the Saucito mine is pretty much 2 kilometers away. So we're very closely located, and that's where we're shipping our material to them at this point. But as we go forward, we'll be putting more and more into our plant and putting less and less into theirs. So we've had considerable success where we're working, just in this upper right-hand corner of our property. We initially started with the Valcanus Vein, but because we've been so successful, we now call it the Valcanus Vein system. We have 4 in echelon veins. We have a number of oblique veins that we've identified as well, and that's because we're working right on an upwelling fluid zone, the source that everyone looks for. So every permeable structure was actually mineralized and over that period of time. So we're in the best area, and we've also identified an upwelling fluid zone. And going forward on the property, that's actually what we're looking for in the future, because around this long-lived magmatic center, we believe there's potential on our property of additional upwelling fluid zones to considerably increase the value of our company. As you can see where they're basically located, we have permitting we've applied for permits, and as soon as we get those permits, we'll be drilling on the property. So just some quick takeaways on Juanicipio. It's high grade, high margin and district scale. There's the ongoing mineral processing that will be occurring throughout the year and generating cash flow, and then a ramp up to nameplate of 4,000 tons a day over the course of the year. So again, moving quickly, we're going to jump over to Utah and our Deer Trail property. Again, it makes the grade for all of MAG's criteria: grade, size, and location. The reason we're there is because we're right on what we call the Wasatch Tusher fault, which is where a number of other big mining areas and significant mines are. The Bingham Canyon, one of the world's largest copper porphyry systems. Also the Tintic area, where a number of other companies are working. But what it symbolizes is that Tusher fault, that break that we're all on. And this is, the Deer Trail mine is actually a historical mine. So what does the area have? It has large deposits. It has the opportunity for us to do where we've consolidated the ownership, because our chief geologist actually knew this property since 1982, but it was always fractured ownership. Someone owned this, someone owned that. We brought it all together under one umbrella, and that lets us approach it from a district point of view. And of course, we're in a very, very mining-friendly jurisdiction and community who wants to support the development going forward. So this just gives you a cartoon of what our idea was. So So number one is the Deer Trail mine. This is where they started mining, but it's up here in these sedimentary rocks, which are not good host rocks for mineralization. What we want to do is move down into this area, which we call the Red Wall limestone. It's a very, very favorable host rock system. What we believe is if we trace down and go towards follow the plumbing down this way, we'll find chimneys and mantos that are economic and of size that we'll be able to mine, and that's what we're doing right now. So we've had a couple drill programs. The first drill program was to find that limestone and then trace feeders into the depth of it. We didn't go to the total depth of it, and we're continuing to do that now in phase 2 drilling. And also in phase 2 drilling, which we've just completed, we actually found an entirely new zone separate from the original Deer Trail mine. And then lastly, we have the Larder project in Ontario. This is on the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, one of the most prolific gold areas in Canada and Ontario. It's on a break, which is called the Cadillac Larder break, and it's basically between two major mines, right between Agnico Eagle and the Kerr Addison mine, as well as Yamana Resources or mining. What it presents is another unique opportunity. It, of course, has the size, and it has the grade and the high margin potential, but most of the economic mines in this area, in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, have been successful and have mined, as well as having high grade, in areas that are below 500 meters. In fact, it's more around the 800 meter level. And the property that we obtained here, the Larder project, most of the mining of the previous mining company was above 500 meters. So we're going to take the information that we gained from what they drilled And we're going to, as you can see, drill at depth down to where all the economics of mines are in the region. So just wrapping it up very quickly, we're going to continue mineral processing throughout the year and generating cash flow. We're going to commission the mill, and we're going to ramp up towards nameplate by the end of the year, 4,000 tons a day. We're going to continue to explore on Juanicipio, where we've only explored 5% of the property and where 95% of the value of MAG is today. But we also have two very, very high potential properties, one being the Deer Trail mine and the other being the Larder project. And that's it in 10 minutes really quickly. So thank you very much.